Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Q&A video, answer segment type of video, leading up to the second half of The Walking Dead Season 6. Yeah, so not too much new stuff being released by AMC right now for The Walking Dead. They've released a few little teaser trailers for Better Call Saul Season 2, which I am pretty excited for. Obviously not as excited as I am for The Walking Dead Season 6's second half. But Better Call Saul Season 2 looks pretty good. I'm excited to see how long the show's going to last. You know, is Better Call Saul going to get a third season? Could it last 5 seasons? Could it possibly go on longer than Breaking Bad? I don't think so, but, hopefully it'll get at least a few, and it's been pretty good to start, so hopefully it'll just get even better, and maybe one day it could be almost as good as Breaking Bad, even though thus far I don't think it's as good as Season 1 of Breaking Bad, but hey, what can you expect? Breaking Bad was incredible. Aside from that, not too much else new stuff going on, so I appreciate you guys sending me your your questions. Continue to do so, and I'll continue to include them in Q&As, but right now, the next couple weeks, I can't promise. Yesterday I didn't do a video. I can't promise a video every day because we've covered, basically everything. We've covered so many things, it's crazy. We've done a lot of Q&As already, and, even though it's still, a few weeks till the premiere of Season 6, the second half, until AMC releases some new content or, new stuff, I don't have too much for you guys in the way of video topics. Maybe just a few here and there, like just a few little ones, but nothing major to really talk about too much until it hits, aside from other shows that I might be doing some videos for. I may be doing some Game of Thrones videos because we're starting to get geared up for that, and Dragon Ball Super is, people message me about that. That's getting pretty good right now with some new content stuff, which is awesome. So I'll be looking to kind of do some of that stuff in the next couple weeks because there's not too much to talk about with regards to Walking Dead at this point. But don't hesitate to keep sending me your questions, guys, because we can do random Q&As, and that's something that we can do regardless, and talk about some older stuff on Walking Dead or whatever you guys want to talk about. That's fine with me. So continue to do that, but just letting you know, it's a yearly thing. The same thing happens every year. If you've been subscribed to the channel for a few years now, there gets to be a point in both the summer and during the wintertime, in between the breaks, where there isn't as much stuff to talk about as usual. Some people have been complaining about the comment section, saying there's too much people role playing and being silly, and I saw somebody created a Trev's Cocker Spaniel account, so that's pretty funny. Nice job there. I laughed at that. The messages just keep saying "feed me," so there, I fed you. There you go. I fed the troll. So I don't care if you guys want to do that. That's fine. Some people are getting upset, but the deal is, here's the deal. The reason why it picks up right now is because there's not as much stuff to comment about. There's not as much stuff to talk about, so that's why people start being silly. So that's fine. I don't have any problem with that. But it is what it is. There's no way to prevent it. So there's kind of a channel updates for you guys a little bit, and we'll get into a few of your guys' questions. But yeah, I always let you guys know what's going on, and if you have any video topics, top 5, top 10s, you can send them to me. It's just a lot of this at this time of the year. I don't really reflect too much on the past of the series, because I kind of wait until we see the second half first, because that will affect, in a lot of ways, top 5s, top 10s in terms of things like episodes and stuff like that. And we've already covered a lot of that anyway, so yeah. A few questions for today, and like I said, maybe no video for tomorrow. I'll let you guys, I'll see if I can do one for you guys, but maybe not. We'll have to see how it goes. First question for this one's from NGRULES, and he says, hey Trev, questions for the Q&A. Do you believe it's likely that for Season 7 that they will change the opening credit sequence again? The consistent theme that I've noticed so far, and I've heard people talk about this in the comments as well, I didn't notice this at first, as is that they tend to change it every 2 seasons, as the sequences for Seasons 1 and 2 were pretty much identical, as well as for Seasons 3 and 4, except for 2 or 3 frames between each seasons. The intro for Seasons 5 and 6, as you said, have seemed to remain relatively the same as well. I believe that it will be changed again in Season 7 to reflect the current time locations. What do you think? Yeah, I kind of wanted to see them change it in Season 6, Season 6 after Season 5, because so much has changed from the beginning of Season 5 until the beginning of Season 6. Like Season 5, they go to like a totally different state and everything, and it's just a lot different locations, different characters. A lot of the characters are changed. So I'd like to see them updated every season, but I think you've got it right. It's probably every 2 seasons is when they decide to do it. And also, it's kind of cool. They've kind of decayed as they've gone through. They become more decayed, just like the zombies, which is kind of cool. And he says, "What do you think? I keep up the good work, man, with the videos, and thanks for the entertainment that you bring me while at work on the weekend." So I'm glad you watch the videos while you're at work, man. That's funny. What kind of job do you have? Maybe if you're a security guard or something, I guess that's fine. Just don't forget to catch the bad guys if someone tries to shoplift or something. I don't know if he's a secure. I'm filling in the blanks with my own imagination is what I'm doing right there. So I do like it when they change. I like to change, like you guys see with my channel. I change my theme as much as I can. I like to do that. I like to create a new one and kind of update it and everything. And I'll change mine for Season 7 as well, too, next year after the season ends. But I hope they change it for Season 7 because I like the new theme where it's got like this gunmetal type theme with Rick and everything and like TWD, and it shows it like that. And I've kind of changed my my thumbnails and my text I use to match what they use. So if they use more like a gunmetal type deal, I try to change it to match that, which is cool. And I really like how they kind of use that now. It's kind of cool, and it looks good in the dark greens and everything. It's a cool theme. So I hope they update the title to look more like that. Yeah, because they used to use a lot more browns and beiges with the decaying and stuff, but now it's kind of like more metal. You're in a different location, different cities going to be coming in a lot now too, with different groups and that. So it should be pretty cool, and I hope they should change it. Season 7. I don't think they'll change it for second half of Season 6. I highly doubt it. I think you're right about the formula, even though I wish they changed every season. Next one's from Michael McMahon, and he says, "Hey Trev, can you do a throwback review of webisodes?" So I'll stop you there, and then I'll do the rest of. You got a second question here. Because Mike McMahon, he asked a lot of great questions over the years. So thanks for your support, Michael. I hope you keep watching and you keep commenting, and I love to see your messages and stuff. You send me all kinds of great stuff over the years. So thanks for all your support, man. So with the webisodes, so they stopped doing those basically. They have one for Fear, which is the plain one, which I never reviewed because it's so chopped up that it's like nothing, it's like a credit roll basically. There's no substance to it really. So I've never really reviewed that. I still don't care to be honest. Like that's nothing, But some of the previous webisodes were cool. I have reviewed each one of them, but the Bicycle Girl one was cool. The Cold Storage was decent, I guess. But I don't really care much to go back and watch them again or do anything like that. But I do think I will do a throwback review of No Sanctuary, because I've been meaning to do that for a while, and it is one of the best episodes of The Walking Dead ever for sure. So I'll probably do that maybe next weekend. That'd be good, because there isn't too much else to do or talk about. Last year I did a whole bunch. I did like a whole week of throwbacks, or I did 10 days where I did throwback reviews for 10 of the best episodes of The Walking Dead, but people didn't really like it too much. So maybe I'll just do one or two this year, and then just kind of, just relax a bit, maybe not put out as many Walking Dead videos as I usually do, just because there's too much to talk about as usual, until the season starts again, of course. And then the second question is also, who do you think will get the most focus in the second half of The Walking Dead? So most focus in this half. Great question. So looking at it, probably Rick, I would think. And Daryl didn't have much time in the first, and Scott Kimball did say that Daryl will have more time in the second half. So I would think between them, Rick and Daryl, probably the most. Morgan, maybe a bit, but I think it's going to be less than it was in the first half. Then you got characters like Michonne, of course, Glenn, Maggie, probably less for them than they had in the first half. So more focus shifted back to Rick and and Daryl, I think, a little bit more so than it was in the first half, even though they got enough time in that half anyway. Well, Daryl didn't get that much, but Rick did. Okay, next one's from Peter ENG. He says, "Hey Trev, what are your thoughts on Lauren Cohan getting cast as Martha Wayne, Bruce's mom, in Batman v Superman?" She's been busy. She's got a lot of stuff she's been working on. Is that true? A few people messaged me about that, so I just picked this one from Peter. But she's going to play Martha Wayne, so that's kind of cool. I also heard that she was going to be in the Tupac movie with Denai Guerrero, who's playing Tupac's mom, which is cool. I'd be interested to check that out because he was obviously a huge, infamous. Rapper, of course. Even to this day, people still listen to Tupac. Driving around, sometimes you'll hear people in their car, they're still bumping Tupac even now. Crazy, right? So obviously his impact was huge. I'll be interested to see what that turns out like, and just to kind of see Denai Guerrero's role at least, and see her in a different role would be kind of cool. Lauren Cohan's got The Boy, which just hit. I haven't seen it yet, but I might check it out. Jess was looking at it. She's like, I don't know if I want to watch it. I'm not too into just general horror movies like that, but maybe check it out. We'll see. I'll let you guys know if I do. Next one's from BMT Prime. He says, "Hey Trev, Q&A. Morgan is a character that we fans have loved since the very first episode, Days Gone By, and ever since Clear, have wanted him to quote-unquote return as a full-time cast member. My question is, if The Walking Dead continues to write Morgan as a never-kill, goody two-shoes, all life is precious kind of way, will they forever change a character who we've all come to regard as one of the best in the show?" Absolutely. Great question from him. We've kind of talked about this a little bit, but just to focus on, to answer your question in specifics, yeah, I think they took one of the top characters in the show after Clear, one of the absolute best characters in the entire show, and they've kind of taken a little bit of the mystery away. They've shown us everything that we kind of wanted to see and tried to develop some new kind of stuff for him, where he's changed quite a bit in the opposite direction that most characters go, in finding his humanity and finding a reason. So, it's interesting that way. You've got the finding a reason to live and everything like that is interesting, and I like that. But I do think that he does have to go a little bit more back the other way that he was going originally. He's got to be able to defend the people that he cares about and understand us versus them. And if someone's an enemy, if someone's going to try to kill you, you have the right to defend yourself. And it brings in some interesting questions about humanity in that. But I do think that they've taken his character a little bit too far that way, and that the whole never do it again thing. So we'll see what they do with him in the future. He could still be fun to watch and still fun to see in the show, but I'm not as excited or as much of a fan of him now as I was in Season 5 in that, when he was kind of making his return to the show, and it was pretty awesome and hyped and everything. So we'll do a couple more. Next one's from It's Nick92. He says, "Hey Trevor, I started watching your videos this past summer leading up to Season 6 of The Walking Dead, and I've been hooked ever since. I share your enthusiasm for the show, and I appreciate your input. If the group that attacked Daryl, Sasha, and Abraham at the beginning of Always Accountable were indeed saviors, why do you think they were willing to kill them on first sight? I ask this because it seems like the biker saviors from the prologue, Season 6B, might let them live as long as they give them their belongings." So great question from Nick. The deal is that from the comic book series, the characters that Daryl ran into that were running away from the rest of the Saviors are being hunted, so to speak, or they're trying to capture them. They're a part of the group and they've kind of escaped. Whereas Daryl and the others, they're not a part of the Saviors. So the other Bicycle Gang group that wants to just take all their stuff, they're fine with that. They won't just kill them and outright or capture them or anything like that, at least seemingly so far, based on the comic book series versions. But they do because they're not part of the group. So that's basically the difference. Is the other group you're talking about was part of the Saviors, was trying to run away from them and escape, and this is different. Do a couple more. This one's from Jacob Butler, and he says, "Hey Trav, I have a question for one of your Q&A videos. What would you think of The Walking Dead, the animated series? I think that would be awesome. It could be animated in the style of the comics, and could even be a direct line-by-line adaptation of the comic series. Want to hear your thoughts, and if you think it would be a good idea." Well, it would be a great idea. I would love to see that, but they'll probably never do it. And the reason why is because people in North America do not like animated series. They don't. That's all there is to it. I don't need to really go into it any more than that. Time has shown whenever, if Todd McFarlane tried to do a Spawn series, if they try to do adult cartoons where you would have, killing and stuff like in Spawn, or darker cartoons like that, they just don't work in North America. People in North America are like, it's a cartoon, I'm not into that. Peace. Switch the channel, right? That's it. That's what they do. So here in North America, shows like The Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, they have to be live action. They don't have much of a choice. If they go animated, they'll probably fail. In Japan, it would work great. It'd be cool to see, an anime version of The Walking Dead. That'd be sweet. I would definitely watch that and love to see that if they were doing it long running. It'd be so cool. However, in North America, it's pretty simple. It just wouldn't work. That's all there is to it. I can tell you right off the bat, I've thought about this many times in the past before. In North America, this kind of stuff just doesn't work. In Japan, it does. And last question, we'll do this one from Danny. And here she says, "Hey Trev, I have a question. What do you think they can show and can't show in television in terms of violence? I know we're talking about The Walking Dead here, but do you think they can show, for example, Negan bashing in someone's skull fully on camera? Or what do you think they would do with that?" Well, I think they could mostly do it. They'd have to use a little bit of CG probably and mix it up a little bit. But they could probably show most of it. Like you have the governor when he attacks Rick and stuff, and Michonne stabs him, and that's right through. You have characters getting shot in the head, stuff like that. It does. Dave and Tony the Bar get blasted, by Rick. So you do have stuff like that. You've got Terminus with the cannibals and stuff, and Bob's leg and stuff. So they show some pretty dark stuff in The Walking Dead here and there. Maybe not as bad as Game of Thrones, but it's they go pretty far if they have to. So. Yeah, they could do that. The baby thing, he mentions that too about Judith and possibly being killed off. That's definitely one I think you'd have to be careful with. You'd have to look through. I guess a lot of it depends on the advertisers. There's a lot of info out there you can scroll through if you want to know. But yeah, it's not that interesting, and they're always kind of careful about stuff like that because they don't want to cross any lines. John Bernthal talked about the sex scene with Sarah Wayne Callies where they did that and stuff, and there were certain ways that he was able to touch but not others, and and he talks a little bit about that in an interview a long time ago, like 5 years ago, I think, at this point that I saw. And there's certain things they're allowed to do, certain things they're not. Sometimes the regulations are a little silly, like they're allowed to stab someone in the chest, but they're not allowed to do this. It's a little weird in cable. So, yeah, there's my answers for you guys for today. Keep sending me your questions. I have a few more. Maybe I can do one in a couple days, another Q&A. So send me what you guys got tonight or tomorrow, and you have a good chance of getting into the next Q&A in a couple days. If you guys like the video, you know the usual stuff, guys. Thumb it up, share, favorite, and subscribe if you're new. That's it for this video, guys. See you again in a couple days. Always is Trev saying peace.